Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory of Golden State Gaming. I'm your host, SwampSwimmer, and with me, as always, the Chandler to my Joey, Vespasian.
Okay, not a huge
Good.
Friends fan, but I'll take that one. Hi, everybody.
Okay, so we're gonna play our favorite little game. What would this character be in the world of the Ninth Age? What would Moby Dick and Ishmael be in the Ninth Age? I was thinking it was a Hobgoblin's Ishmael, and he hunting the great white Carcadon on the plains of, and he's always eluded him.
I like that one. I think trying to think if there's any other I like the only thing I might do a little bit differently is just it'd be cool if it was like one of the long-lived races, so that it was sort of like a perpetual hunt, for like centuries or millennia kind of a thing. But no, I like the Hobgoblin hunting
Like
that's cool.
Like a dread elf and a kraken.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah, a merworm, the great merworm. That's a good one. I like these segments. They're fun. That's a good one.
I'm trying to think of more and more like kind of archetype kind of characters around us that are like, Robin Hood, like we've done before, Sherlock Holmes. So anyone who's watching, if you have ideas of any sort of character you want us to compare to what would that character be in the world of Ninth Age, put it in the comments, please.
I'm gonna think about it too.
But let's go ahead and get to the bat rep. Let's see here. So last we left off, we went over your round 5 game, which was a slight disappointment for yourself. It was you had a bad day 2. But in my round 5, I get paired into Mr. Tim Simpson, who's doing Infernal Dwarves. And also I realized at this point, Skaven and AZ was on the table next to me, and going into this game, we were the exact same battle points. I thought we were gonna play each other. Like, I thought that would have been perfect, but we didn't. But this was like, I was kind of like, as I'm playing my game, I'm half watching his game off to my side, and we'll get into what happens, but that plays into it.
And I think he just released his round 5 just earlier this week. Hype for his video. So yeah, we'll see. I guess we know how the ultimate ending, but let's see how it unrolled.
So if you are interested in my Saurian Ancient list, please go back to the round 1 video, and we will go over my list. But we're playing Tim Simpsons, who's using one of the 2 very similar Infernal Dwarf lists that were in this tournament. He's got the Prophet on the Great Bull of Shamut with Flame of the East, Ring of Desiccation, Obsidian Rock. He's got a Lamassu. He's got 24 Citadel Guard with Flintlock Axes and a Flaming Standard, 30 Vassal Levies with Spear, Shield, Bow, all that good stuff, and a Flaming Banner, 20 Shackled Slaves with Paired Weapons, 6 Torok Anointed with Infernal Weapons, 6 Torok Anointed with Infernal Weapons, 2 big blocks. Then he's got 2 Titan Mortars and a Kadim Chariot. So you actually played Gabe in one of your previous rounds, and he has a very similar list to this.
Yeah, the 2 big blocks of Anointed is an interesting approach. I had lunch with Tim on day 1 after his first round, and he had some interesting things to say, because I think he had a tough round 1. But I mean, I like the list. I like the Great Bull. I think that's a really cool caster. The 2 Bricks of Anointed are tough to shift. He's got some kind of flexible pieces with the levies, to spread the flammable, right? Titan Mortars to kill lots and lots and lots of infantry and also kill big stuff. The Kadim Chariot is a ridiculously low-priced, awesome chariot. and the Lamassu for a little extra magic and another flying piece that can be flexible. You know, I hate to see no BSB, but dwarves do have great leadership, so
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see how that works out for him if he pays for that. But
Yeah, going into
yeah.
the battle, I'm thinking I think the Prophet on the Great Bull of Shamut and the Temple Lamassu are good targets for my poison. There's 3-up armor on I think both of them, or one of them was 4-up, I think.
I think the
And
Great Bull's 5-up, 5-up. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Still, it's a good target for my poison, but I think I'm gonna have real trouble with the Anointed. I don't have a whole lot that can really get through them, but we'll see. So I'm going into this, I'm kind of like 50-50 with it.
Okay.
Let's see here. So I pick Word of Iron, Glory of Gold, Corruption of Tin, Spark of Creation on my my Quaddle, and then on the Skink Priest, Healing Waters, Entwining Roots, and Summer Growth. Since the majority of his characters have big Aegis saves against flaming attacks, I didn't do like Quicksilver Lash or Molten Copper.
Yeah.
And I don't like Silver Spike, so I left that on the roadside.
Okay.
So here we go. If I remember correctly, I don't remember how we deployed. This has been a while. We've been taking our time getting these reports out. So let me go left to right on his. He's got the Anointed, the Kadim Chariot. These are the Shackled Slaves, with one Titan Mourner behind him. These are the guys with flintlock axes, and the Great Bull of Shamut and his caster behind him. We've got the Vassal Levies with a Titan Mortar behind them, the Temple Lamassu on the right here, and another block of Anointed. So I can't remember. Let me see who gets the first turn. Yeah, alright, so I dropped to get the first turn. I kind of castled here with just throwing out my chaff in front, and then after he dropped, I threw out my scouts, and I put them over here to hopefully get to either the Anointed or his Temple Lamassu. That was my thought process.
Okay.
I'm not sure this is the best deployment. Yeah.
He can't see the scouts on the right. They're out of the arc. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I have dropped first turn anyway, so I can.
Oh, you dropped it first. Okay, yeah. Got it. Yep.
So let's see what I did here. So my first turn, I moved both of the chameleons out of his arc. So I am gonna shoot these guys without any consequences. I basically move up a little bit here, just get to the fence in the middle, and then hopefully in the later turns run and try to control the center token. That's my basic thought process there. I get Entwining Roots off on one of the Titan Mortars, and that's it. In the shooting phase, I do pretty well. I do with both these units, which is what, 30, 15, 30, 60 shots, 60 poison shots. I take off one Anointed and then do one more wound to the guy next to him. So it's a good start.
Yeah, gotta whittle him away.
Let's see here. It looks like we're jumping to his turn. He gets Hand of Glory off on his big guy. And this is his movement phase.
And yours, by the look of it.
No, it looks like, yeah, we jumped in time here. So it looks like he jumped up. He pushed his Anointed on the hill. He pushes Anointed towards the center here, and then he moves everything else kind of towards the center. Turns to face... Oh, yeah, and he put his Temple Lamassu over here. And then I basically push up everywhere. He gave me easy ways for my hunters and my chameleons to go around his side, which I do on both sides of the board. And I throw my... whatchamacallit? My Thyroscutus up in front of these Anointed. That if they charge, I've got a good counter charge with my Skink Blender. I think that Skink Blender's the only real chance I have to get through these big units of Anointed.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here. I'm thinking this is okay because I'm gonna get a bunch of shots off on the Lamasu. I think I'm gonna kill him in one turn. And in my shooting phase, I end up doing all but 1 wound to the Temple Lamasu. I only do 3 wounds because they have 4 apiece, I think.
Okay.
So this was another situation that's happened a few times in this tournament where the poison shots are there, but they do 1 less wound I need them to do. It happened with the Ancient Dragon. It happened a few other times. Well, with the court against Henry in round 1.
Right.
I love my poison shooting, but they always just do 1 less wound than they need to. Let's see here. And then in his movement phase, I think he moves to here.
Oh, this is his move. Okay,
No. This is my top of 2 movement. This is where this is.
Okay.
I do more shooting on these guys. I whittle them down a little more with poison and with spark of creation.
Nice.
Get Entwining Roots off on this unit, which is nice. This is the Flintlock Axe unit. And Corruption of Tin on this. I have really strong magic phase this round. Get 3 spells off.
It doesn't look like his first turn really did too much either. Like the mortars didn't hit, the flintlocks marched.
Yeah, I do remember his I think his Titan mortars don't do well the whole time. I think one of them misfires this turn.
Okay.
And then breaks itself for the game. Let's see here. Corruption of Tin. Yeah. Alright, so then he takes the charge into the Thyroscutus and overruns to here, an inch away in front of my Skink Blender. I think he rolled an 11. I was like, wow. So obviously I'm gonna have to take that charge.
You know, one thing I noticed in your games, you use the Thyros for chaff against things that it seems like they will kill them with relative ease. Do you ever think about using one of the chiefs to do that instead, just because it's cheaper?
Yeah, I have thought about that. It's probably a better idea, but I think when I throw a chief out there, it just lessens the effectiveness of the Skink Blender by so much. I really use those chiefs as like end game chaff or like really desperation chaff. And I throw the Thyroscutus out there because the armor save is good enough that if I get like a lucky armor save roll, it can stick against almost anything.
Okay, fair enough.
But you're right. I shouldn't sacrifice the Thyros as easily as I do.
I just think that things that are like strength 6, or more have, with a decent amount of attacks, have a high likelihood of killing them. In that case, if there's a decent likelihood it dies, I might consider using the chief just as because you could have had the Thyro back for a charge, right? So then I think Thyro is better than an extra chief in that case. But anyways.
Yeah, it's true. So I take that charge in. I throw these the Skinks with Javelins up to chaff all 3 units, which is nice. And then I continue to shoot with the poison guys on the left. In his turn, he ended up charging the Lamasu into one of the Chameleon units, which fought him in combat and ran to here, and the other unit failed its panic and ran off the board. So, because I didn't do that last wound to the Temple Lamasu, I lost a whole unit of Chameleons and then 2/3 of this one. A little disappointing, but I'm all right. And I think this one ran also from panic. Basically, this game's not going quite as I planned it, but we'll see where it goes. I think here, if I get buffs off against these Anointed, I'm going to blow through them. That's what I was anticipating.
Okay.
Get a Spark of Creation off on the Chariot. I think I do 1 wound, nothing crazy. Get Corruption of Tin off on these guys. So that's good. I pull that. I think, no, maybe these guys didn't flee. I don't know what happened then with these. Maybe he did a breath weapon on them. But they do the last wound to the Temple Lamasu, which is nice.
Got him.
Spark of Creation does. Maybe I didn't
No,
do
poison.
more wounds here.
I think your
Poison. Yeah, it does
shooting
2 more wounds
less
to them.
Nice. Those things are tough to take off.
Yeah. So here, I flub. I think I only kill 1 guy, and he comes back and he focuses all of his attacks on the Skink Chiefs, and I think he kills 2 of the 5 and then do 1 wounds on the rest of them. Basically, he doesn't break, which is a bad news for me.
Okay. But he's got no counter charges, does he? No.
Let's see here.
Looking back, do you regret casting Spark and instead casting another buff?
I think that's one of the biggest problems I have when playing games is I don't focus my magic. I get greedy and I try to spread my magic around to 2 or 3 combats where I need them, and I really need to choose one and focus all my magic on it.
Yeah, that was what happened in game 4, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think that's a symptom of my game, which is not good. So this skips ahead a little bit. In his turn, he charges the chaff in the center, takes it off, puts the slaves in front of my temple guard. And we're continuing to fight here, and I'm continuing to flub, and like I'm not doing any damage over on the left. All these skinks behind me are the ones he's killing.
But he's got all of the skink chiefs on 1 wound. Those Torok are.
No, I didn't want to take the models out of the unit, so the ones with 6s, which is 4 of them, are dead skink captains.
Got it. Okay.
And then one skink captain's still alive with 1 wound.
Got it.
Yeah. So I think last round I did 0 wounds to them. Like it wasn't going my way over here.
Yeah, once hatred is off, that poison has much less spike potential than it does initially.
I throw the skinks, and I think he's winning the secondary because he's got these 2 units within 6 inches of the center.
Yeah.
I throw the skinks with bows to chaff the anointed. I charge here and get off Word of Iron, so they're now the Temple Guard are AP 2, which is nice.
Your armor 2.
Yeah, and then I get armor. They're armor 1 up then, because I always do the boosted version.
Big one. Yep.
I get healing waters off on this unit, which is nice. And again, I don't do as well as I want. I kill 1 guy, so I'm just like, this has been through what 4 rounds of combat now, and I haven't gotten through them. And that's where I ended the game. So let me tell you what happens here. I go into the shackled slaves. I kill them, obviously. And then somehow I realize at this point I'm looking over at Skaven and AZ's table. I know he's winning. And I'm like, I got to somehow get the secondary, or at least get the points over here with his character in this unit. So I kill the slaves. Somehow, he doesn't charge me, and then I go for a long bomb charge into his warriors with the flintlock axes. I think I get like 2 buffs on this block, and I'm thinking like, oh, I could possibly break through these guys, and then I flub again over here, and I don't break them. And then the Torok Anointed against my Skink Plunder end up breaking the Skink Plunder.
Okay, so you lost objective and the Skink Plunder.
Yeah.
And all of your poison shooting and 1 of the Thyros. Okay.
So it ends up being a 0 for me. I have also a bad ending to my tournament.
Oh no. What happened to Glory of Golden State Gaming?
we did not show up as a YouTube channel to SoCal Joust.
Well, day 2, I guess.
But I have to. But I don't want to blame him on the dice. Tim was playing really well. Also, Tim was a super cool guy, and the thing he did, which I thought was really funny, was he's got these 2 units of Torok Anointed, and every time he charged the Torok Anointed, he had the little toy, the little cow moo toy, that when you turn it over, it makes a moo sound. So whenever he charged, he turned the thing over and moves. I thought that was hilarious.
Nice job, Tim. I like it.
Yeah, Tim was a cool guy. He was fun.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I end up near the bottom, and you end up kind of a little above halfway. You ended up with 30.
I ended up with 55.
55.
Yeah. So I think I'm in like 15th or 13th or something. I can't remember. But yeah.
Oh, so how are you feeling about your list in total?
I actually like the list. I think, overall, I mean, I think we should leave game 5 out because we talked about the circumstances there.
Mhm.
But, overall, I was pretty happy with the list. I think I like the magic phase. The Master of Granic Tower Prince with the Div Adept with the book is, creates some really, great phases. And I like the Giants. Although actually, I was looking back through their performance, and they were not they were not MVPs. Let me put it that way. They failed spectacularly in game 1. One of them died, before even moving in game 2. In game 3, they did relatively well, but certainly weren't a big deal. And in game 4, they ended up just being chaff and dying to shooting. And in game 5, they didn't manage to do anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a shame. Like in my mind, I like the pieces for what they can do in the army, but their actual delivery wasn't great. The rest of it, is stuff that I've taken, a decent amount. So, kind of performed as expected. So yeah, overall, I was pretty happy with it. I mean, day 2 was rough.
Yeah.
I could have played better in game 4 for sure. But yeah, how about you?
I think the skink poison shooting gun line was a fun concept, but I'm gonna be leaving it behind from moving forward. I'm gonna move on to my beast herds and focus on them.
How's the
which I'm
painting
saying-
going?
Oh, it's non-existent. I'm borrowing models for the tournament for Infernal Zoo.
Okay. Get excited. Lists are due in 3 days,
3
right?
days,
We're gonna have a
yeah.
list review next week.
Well, I should be releasing this video on Saturday, so I think this list will be due in 1 day when this video comes out.
Got it. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, in this game, I felt like I had a decent game plan. I just, I think the list and my dice were too much for me, and it didn't happen.
There's lots of armies out there like this one with the poison. Some VC ghoul lists with poison. Undying Dynasties with lots of lethal strike. And poison where they rely on 6s, and it's like. Some games it's just overwhelming and it feels like an unfair advantage. In other games, if you don't get the 6s, it feels like you're playing with one arm type of effect.
When you're throwing for 6s and you're throwing a bunch of dice at it, I feel like the odds should balance out when you're throwing a bunch of dice, but it seems like it's feast or famine. It's either you're spiking or you're not. It's weird. Yeah. But we had a great tournament. Big thanks to Will for running it. It was a good venue in a gaming store in Pasadena. What was it called again? The gaming store?
Odyssey Games.
Odyssey Games in Pasadena.
Game Empire. Yeah.
We had a great time. I'll definitely be back next year.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, Will, and thanks everybody. Really good time.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a good evening.
Bye, everybody.